Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. We're in our DATCP segment. That's Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection. But we take the consumer protection side here. And Michelle is here with us today, and we're going to be talking about a targeted investment scam. Very interesting one here, that somebody learning how to do investment, so to speak, and then goes to talk to an instructor, and it turns out that not so legit.
That's right. This one's got a lot of twists and turns to it, but at the end of the day, it'll be an example of what we call pig butchering. It's kind of the newest scheme, and they're longer schemes in their concept, and that's why they're named pig butchering, because they take on this longer time in building the pig, fattening it up, and that's what this scheme is going to show. So we got contacted by a consumer here at DATCP from Wisconsin that had taken an online class, and it was a class to how to increase performance and sales on an online platform. And so that was all fine and good. They liked the course. They got contacted through social media by their instructor as a follow-up after the class happened, and they were, great, that's awesome. What they didn't know is it wasn't really their instructor. It was a scammer posing as the instructor. So there was some information out there about this class and who'd done it that now they could be very targeted. And so the individual trusted the instructor, but turned out to be the scammer. And they said, hey, I can help you invest in some cryptocurrency. How's that sound? So they did, $40,000 they invested in the cryptocurrency. They wanted to take some of the money out. There were all sorts of twists and turns as to why they had to pay more money in to unlock the account, different fees that they had to pay. Never got anything after all these twists and turns. So they let it be. They stopped communications. Checked on the account one day, over $1 million.
Gone.
It had grown. It was worth over $1 million.
Oh, it went up to $1 million. I was like, lost $1 million.
Isn't that great? Now I want to take some of that out. So they reach back out to the instructor, the scammer, and say, okay, I want to take some of this out. Well, there's all sorts of reasons and payments that need to be made and other people that the consumer has to interact with in order to get any of the money out. But sure, we can do that. We can get you some of that money in actual bills, payment bills type. So they needed to pay fees for customs fees. They needed to pay taxes. They needed to pay other account fees, other fuel costs, miscellaneous items that we learned about from them, fake shipping costs as well. The money never arrived for the consumer after they'd invested and paid over $140,000 to this scammer. And so you can see this pig butchering because the scammer just kept building up the account, but these pig butchering scams are tied to a fake investment account that the investment is controlled by the scammer, and you don't really know that. And it's usually and almost always involving cryptocurrency investments.
And that, right, automatically, there's not a lot of tracking there. Is that the rules are way different, and that's that playground area or whatever you want to call it.
It's not regulated. It is not a regulated currency, and so the playground, as you say, is completely unregulated. And what are the rules? There are no rules as to returns on investment. I mean, there are certain things, if you make certain claims, you may still fall under umbrella, but these are scammers. They don't care what the regulations or the laws are. They're just trying to get you to continually invest. And when your investment grows enough and you want some out, there's all sorts of hurdles and reasons that you need to pay another fee. Those fees never come out of your actual investment when you're doing your withdrawal. You're paying in more and more, not really to the investment, but into the fees.
Well, there's a lot of questions swarming in my head right now, trying to wrap my head around at what point could you figure out when this started to go south? Because there are so many moving parts. There's so many things being thrown at you. But what would be kind of your first example of like, okay, well, unfortunately this happened to you, but where could I suspect, oh crap, I'm involved in a pig butchering scam?
Well, first might be the reach and the initial contact to invest in cryptocurrency. That scam takes place, the pig butchering takes place with many different forms. We've seen it where it's connected to a romance scam. because you want to invest together to build your bond and trust. We've seen it as an entrepreneurial opportunity. So very highly educated individuals have fallen victim to this, to multi-thousands of dollars, and they've had successful businesses, but this is a new opportunity that's been presented. We've seen where individuals have received a text message out of the blue for Frank. You know, whoever, I'm sorry, this isn't Frank. Oh, sorry, I must have the wrong number. How's the weather there today? And you answer that and you continue this conversation. Well, you seem like a really nice person. You know, I've got this cryptocurrency investment opportunity. Would you be interested in it? And people are like, oh, well, you know, the rate of return looks really great, you're claiming. So these too good to be true rates of returns might be the second flag that you could see in the opportunity. Third could be the platform. You know, there are some known cryptocurrency platforms for people who want to try this out and do a little bit, but trying to figure out, is this platform legitimate? Who's it really tied to? Who controls it? How do I really get my money out? And then step after step after step, every time you try and take, you need to pay more money. Again, with an investment, your fees can typically come out of your withdrawal. They don't have to be money you pay out of your pocket in order to pay those fees to get your money out.
Yeah, and by no means be here to shame anybody who is
Absolutely
involved in this.
Nope.
It's an incredible. There's so much happening here and so many things, and I think just trying to like, how can I stop it? You know,
Right.
how can I? Because I can see it being legit. That, you know, again, how lucky that person was to be able to call at the right time, at the right moment, I mean, it was timing was everything, you know, just to
Absolutely.
get through the door. But then past that, like, what could stop you, like, until you figured it out? It's just
I mean,
difficult.
I have the advantage of it being down on paper.
Yeah,
and being
I know. I'm
able
looking
to
at it
see
like, well, you could have
every
been here.
breakdown. But when you are living in it and involved in it, you're not going to see, what is it, the tree through the forest. You know,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
won't. So talking with someone else, opening up to have that conversation and being able to admit and recognize that something could be going on, and it could be just too good to be true. I mean, we need to trust our gut and go back to those things, and be open to stopping.
Yeah, and I guess too, this would be my plea to it's so important that you report these things, and also that, you know, if you're here as a resource. I mean, had this person not even reached out, if they were,
Right.
you know, embarrassed about whatever, you would never even know that it happened. So a plea for reaching out at any level. I mean, you're there to help, but also just telling you that these things are happening. The Bureau,
Right.
you can actually go back and again educate us to like, okay, this is how this one went. This is a new thing that you can look for, which I think is always awesome. As we've done these segments every year, we get some more tools to help spot these things, which is amazing.
Right.
You know?
We need to know the new twist, the new technology that's being used, the new presentation, the new form of payment, so we can add them to our list to recognize as prevention items or those red flag type situation. And absolutely, the only people who should be blamed for this, the only people that should be shamed for this, is the person who is trying to scam the individuals, not the individual who got wrapped up in it. I applaud them for bringing it forward to make sure that we can share that message with everyone else.
All right. Well, if you think you're involved in something like this right now, you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds like I'm in a pig butchering scam of some sort. How can people reach out to you right now and get a hold of you and start hopefully getting something back, or just stopping what's going on?
Right. Call Consumer Protection at 1-800-422-7128, or go to our website and file a complaint at datcp.wi.gov.
I love when you bring these things forward, and I learned a new term today that I mean, you're like, didn't you hear of this? Nope, apparently not.
Yeah.
Pig butchering, yikes. But nevertheless, I mean, it's just incredible work that you guys are doing, and I'm adding this one to now, the bank of, you can't fraud me out there. I'm watching you closely.
That's right.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you.